Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Thursday. We are on Things to Think on Thursday and Gratitude Lesson number 24. Number 24. Ooh, we're almost to the end. I know. We've come a long way. We've come a long way since June. So, let's get rolling. Today is a new moon. So, I am pulling the new moon in Leo card from the Moonology deck instead of doing the regular gratitude or whatever cards, guidance cards in the morning to get us rolling while I wait for people to come on. So, I don't know how this happens, but every time, right? Every time, get like some kind of weird linty thing on me. So, anyways, all right, let's get rolling. I got the, confidence is your key to success. Confidence is your key to success. So, it's Leo season now, and my nephew's a Leo, but we're in Leo season now, and according to this is a really pretty picture of a lion too, by the way. So we're in the new moon in Leo tonight. So just a refresher for anyone that might be new. New moons are when you set your intentions, because the moon will be waxing into the full moon. So you're planting the seed so that it may grow, right? And I think this is the perfect card to start that today, because confidence is your key to success. You have to trust and believe that everything that you are trying to intend will work out in the way you want it to, or better. Remember, when you're setting a prayer, if you're saying a prayer, setting an intention or a manifestation, always finish it with this or something better, because you're giving your guides, your sources, your universe, whatever it is that you subscribe to, you are giving it the wiggle room it needs to grow, to plant, to help this seed that you have planted grow. So let's get going. Confidence is your key to success. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. Okay, let me try this again. Obviously, I'm tripping over this card. But sorry, guys. I thought I was ready for the show today. I'm like a hot mess right now. But, all right, let's try this again. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says, it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle, and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. Okay, So anyways, attune to the moon. Make time to have fun. Make time to have fun. You got to make time to have fun. Additional meanings for this card. Number one, it's time for you to show the world what you've got. It is, if you've been sitting on something, stop, just do it. I'm kind of talking to myself there too. Number two, shine your light. Number three, have some pride. Get it? Lion pride. Pride of lions. Number four, spoil yourself. You've earned it. Spoil yourself. You have earned it. And number five, you've turned someone's head. Ooh, you've turned someone's head. So there you go. And the teaching of this card. Leo is the sign of the big and brave-hearted lion of pride and showmanship and flirting. The energy around the new moon in Leo, and therefore around this card, whenever you pick it, is hot and generous. The energy loves itself, and so should you. If you've been too much of a wallflower, this new moon card and the Leo new moon comes as a reminder that you need to be proud of who you are. So so I love this card. I love this card. This card is, confidence is the key to success, but it's also telling you, what, just go for it. What do you have to lose, right? If the narrative has not been working for you, the one that you're currently following, then switch it up a little and see what happens, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. So, I like that you've turned someone's head. But, I'm going to say something mildly controversial here. Shocker. I truly believe in my heart and in my mind that the elephant is the true king of the jungle. I'm sorry, or queen, because most of the, the elephant herds seem to be led by women. But, and I'm saying that because when you look at, well, and actually I saw this in a documentary where they were talking about if you rile up an elephant, or if they're protecting their own, they can literally take a swipe at a lion. Now, one on one, okay, one on one, not a bunch of lions attacking the elephant, because you notice it seems like unless an elephant is frail, the lions always seem to kind of stay away from them. And I truly believe it's because, if an elephant can take down a tree with its trunk, what do you think it can do to a lion by itself? Seriously, I think one swoop of its trunk and bam, party begins. Cage match. But that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, I did see a documentary on it where they said that, if an elephant is protecting its own, it can actually take out a lion with its trunk. Because the trunk, I mean, come on, it's like, seriously, it's got to be all muscle. I mean, they use it, it's an appendage. It's like punching somebody, but with their trunk, with their face. But that's just my opinion. So I've always kind of, because, when you think about it, right, everybody calls the lion the king of the jungle. And when you stop and really look at it, sure, the lion does some stuff, but mostly it sits around and lets the women do all the work. I know. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, they look all regal with their big crown of fur, and we all love Simba from The Lion King and Mufasa, but when you really stop and think about it, I don't think elephants get the cred they deserve. That's right. That is a little straight up legit animal of the jungle and the Serengeti. So, next time you see an elephant, give it respect. Okay? Give it some major respect. So anyways, that's just me. That's not totally my opinion. That's partially based on science, but my opinion is that the lion should be, or should not be, the actual king of the jungle. Unless, of course, you're just talking about someone that sits on a throne, does nothing, and then watches everybody else do everything. In which case, I get it. But I know. It's my opinion. That part's my opinion. Yeah. So, anywho, moving on towards gratitude. I'm just saying, I've ever since I met older sibling, I've always kind of liked elephants. Horses, cows, penguins, puffins, always kind of been my jam. Well, penguins and cows have always kind of been my jam. And turtles. Can't forget the honu. I love my honus. But yeah, ever since I met older sibling, I've had a deep respect for the path of the elephant and all the things that they are capable of doing. I'm so sorry, guys. It's like, seriously, watching me just groom over here. So anyways, oh, everything's happening. I'm fidgety today. So, all right, lesson number 24 of gratitude. And I did look up the name. This comes from Epictetus. So I was saying it right the whole time, but lately, because of Eckhart Tolle, I was questioning myself. And older sibling, I meant to tell you guys that. Older sibling kind of, she literally was sitting next to me when I was messing up this guy's name, but, whatevs. So Eckhart Tolle is the way you say that name, but this one comes from Epictetus. He is I believe an ancient Greek philosopher, writer, one of those. So, he comes from the way back days. All right. So, I know I'm all kinds of awkward today, aren't I? So, here's the quote. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for that which he has. So he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. I'm sorry, guys. I don't, my hair there's a piece of hair that is just, I think I missed it with the flat iron, and it keeps getting into my ear and tickling my ears. So my curls, but, So, again, from Epictetus, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for that which he has. Um, this seems straight out the usual, right? The usual. We've seen this before. Stop focusing on what you do not have. Start focusing on what you do have. Do you have your health? Did you wake up this morning? Did you, do you have food in your fridge and all these wonderful amenities that many people do not have, include, excuse me, good God, what is happening to me today? It's like my whole body is being possessed by some kind of random awkward being. Anyway, good Lord. All right, let's try this again. Did you wake up this morning? Yes, I did. Did you have coffee? Did you have water, juice, whatever? All these beautiful amenities that we have all around us, with a roof over our head, the maybe you have AC. You know, I'm telling you right now, I always kind of took air conditioning for granted because, I mean, where I live, it's warm. All right, especially when you live inland. A lot of people by the ocean don't necessarily have AC, air conditioning, but because they get that nice breeze. But a lot of them don't, or do as well. But out here in the inland area, I mean, I'm like about 17 miles from the ocean, but as the crow flies. But fries, I know, right? Because it's summer. As the crow flies, I'm about 17 miles from the ocean. And it gets pretty warm. But I'm telling you, after seeing some of the temperatures they have in England and knowing that a lot of people there don't have AC because, you know, hi, it's nice there. You know, I mean, they generally have decent weather. I mean, hot to them is usually like the high 80s. It was getting into triple digits. No, really made me appreciate the aircon I have. So, yay for that. But are we taking for granted everything we have? Are you not being grateful for what you have, the clothes you're wearing? You know, I know I kind of have like a uniform for this show. I always wear the same kind of dresses, but trust me, I have a lot more clothes. This is just easy and simple, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of my thing, right? Like, I have a friend who's an author who has a pink hat, you know, like a pink rhinestone cowboy hat, and somebody gave it to her, and that's how people started recognizing her and finding her, and it just became her thing. So it's kind of like that. This is just like my uniform, right? But I'm grateful for these things. I'm grateful for all my geeky shirts that I have. I mean, I bought a Thor shirt for Comic-Con, and I have my Doctor Who shirt that I brought for Comic-Con, one of which I did not wear. I don't know what happened. I think I overpacked. But I think there's times when we wake up in the morning and we truly forget to be grateful for everything we have. The technology we have, the power that runs this technology, excuse me, oh my God, the fresh, clean water we have. Speaking of which I just took a sip of, there are places in this world that don't even have clean water. That's why the people get sick a lot. And yet we take these things for granted. You know, I go to the fridge, I pour my water, and sometimes I don't think twice about it. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about, you know, he is a wise man or woman who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for that which he has. I'm grateful, super grateful for these wonderful things, because like I said, there's a lot of people who don't have plumbing, who don't have indoor plumbing. You know, think about these countries. You know, we think about, oh well, I don't have this and I don't have that. And if you really stop and look at what we would consider a third world country, right? I mean, these are first world problems. You know, oh well, you know, I can't afford my bottled water every day. Yeah, but you have water coming out of your filtered fridge, right? Or the filter in your fridge, the whatever, one of those pory things. And we take that for granted. But you look around and you think about all these people that don't have clean water. You think about all these people that don't have electricity, don't have plumbing, you know, and, you know, don't have a beautiful, comfortable bed to sleep on. It's like, oh, my bed's too hard. Yeah, well, guess what? Somebody may be laying on the ground somewhere. These are the things they're talking about. When we are grateful for what we have, we open the door of opportunity to come, we open the door of opportunity so that things can happen for us, so that we can bring in these beautiful things. But we have to be grateful for everything that we have around us. That's why it's saying here, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for that which he has. When we rejoice and are grateful for all the things we have around us, even the silly things, right? We're opening, again, that gateway, that door to opportunity that can bring more into us, that will bring that flow, that positive flow, because you're not putting out that negative vibe. You're not putting out that negative energy or juju. You're putting out the, you're zhuzhing it up a bit with the good vibes because you're grateful for what you do have. If you're feeling kind of low and pitiful, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I I have my moments where I get low and pitiful, where my little pity parties. I'm gonna try to start reminding myself what I do have, and it's not to compare myself to what people don't have, but it's to remind myself to be grateful that I was born in a place where I have opportunities, where I was born in a country where I have the right to speak my mind, where I have the right to share what I want to share, where I have the right to disagree with other people, including men, right? There are some countries in this world where women do not have rights, So if you're a girl and you're having a debate with a guy, think about that for a second. Think about how fortunate you are to be able to have that gift of freedom of speech. Because a lot of people, they don't have that. They just have to meander through life being submissive and subservient to somebody else, to their master. Sure, they call them husbands, but technically it's a master. Right? And, boy, this is going in all directions today, isn't it? But I'm a bit opinionated today. But this is things to think on Thursday. And these are the things we need to think about. When we complain like, oh, my water's not cold enough. It's so hot outside, my water's not cold enough. Fuck you, okay? Some people don't have clean water or cold water. They just have to go with what they got. All right, I'm sorry. That was probably a little harsh when I said fuck you, so sorry. But I think about that, and sometimes I think I'm talking to myself because I complain about stupid things. I complain about dumb things. I mean, my biggest complaint this weekend is I didn't get into Hall H, but on the day I wanted to be there. However, I'm going to see all these things eventually. But what about all the people who wanted to go to Comic-Con and couldn't get a badge? Or who gave up their badge thinking that they would have open registration again? They were all feeling sad at home, right? But I was fortunate enough to have a badge. I was fortunate enough to have let mine roll over for 2 years, and be able to go to experience this. Sure, I didn't get into what I wanted to, but you know what? I got to see other panels I wanted to see, and older sibling bought me some of the Comic-Con exclusive chocolate that they make. Seriously, that's still a thing in this house. I am literally hoarding that shit to when I'm just craving chocolate, because it's a one of a kind. Next year will be a whole different flavor palette. So I'm enjoying it. I'm not taking it for granted. In the past, I would have just plowed through it and thought, oh, I'm sad it's gone. But now I've learned to appreciate the things around me. I've learned to appreciate, the life around me. I've kind of stepped out of my ego and stepped back into my humility and reminded myself that, you know what? This is what life is about. It's not about fighting with people about politics or religion or all this stuff. It's about enjoying life. It's about enjoying these freedoms that we have. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of free countries in the world where you're allowed to say stuff, but there's a lot of countries where you're not. And I think that's what we need to zero in on. I mean, think of it again, going back to the elephant versus the lion. The elephant probably knows it could take out a lion with one swipe. Might have the pride coming after him afterwards. But it's their humility that just has them meandering, the forests of Asia and the Serengeti of Africa, right? Oh, here's a fun fact that I learned from older sibling. Elephants with small ears are Asian elephants, and our elephants with big ears are African elephants. That's right. I never knew the difference till I met her. I just thought they had different ears. But it turns out the ones with the smaller ears are Asian elephants, and the ones with the bigger ears are the African elephants. And so if you ever hear somebody say, well, African elephants are my favorite, then don't look at them like they have 5 heads. Just be like, oh, okay. Do you like the one with the big ears? So, Dumbo. Dumbo was an African elephant. I know, that's probably why, because she loves Dumbo. But, Leva told her sibling to pick the most obscure Disney character to try to find shit for when you're trying to buy presents. But, I know, but that aside, the elephant, I think, really does give a good example. It's humility. It's humility. You know, they just do their thing. They protect their own when they have to protect their own. In a way, animals are a lot like humans, except they have sharper teeth or bigger trunks. But they protect what they love, and they protect what they care about. But, you know, they wander. They wander. I mean, there's this wonderful, I'm going off the rails here. Well, not off the rails. I'm just sidetracking here for a second. There's a place in Africa that I would totally love to go to. Every year, the same family of elephants. Now, obviously, it's different generations, but it's the same lineage of elephants come through this area. Now, the hotel was built right on their migratory path. So you can literally be standing in the lobby, and all of a sudden there's just this parade of elephants walking through the lobby. And it's a big thing. It's a big thing. And they tell you, don't touch the elephants, stay out of their way. They are not tamed. They're wild animals. But they kind of just do their thing. I'm pretty sure they're cognizant of the people that are around them, but they go on their path. And I mean, you see people, I've seen a documentary where the people are just taking pictures. They're so in awe. I have never had the opportunity to really be up close to a big elephant. I admit, when I was a little kid, I did ride one at the zoo. I believe it was the Hawaii Zoo, maybe. But, I know, before they stopped that. We didn't know back then. But, but I don't really remember it. Because I was kind of like, oh my God, I'm so high. It's like, ooh, you're way up there in the sky. But they're such regal creatures. And all the animals out there, in anywhere. If you really stop and look at them and just study them and just admire what they're all about. I mean, the cheetahs, the horses, the turtles, the cows, the sheep, birds. If you struggle to find something to be grateful for in your own life, just look around at the wildlife. Look around at nature. If you live in a city, there's got to be birds somewhere, right? Or little ducks wandering around. I mean, you see how people who would just, in their everyday lives, sometimes come together because a little chick falls down the drain, right? Oh my God, there's mom and all the babies following mom, and people will come together and just they'll save these little creatures because they're fragile. And I think that's something that we need to start doing for each other. We need to start helping one another. We need to stop telling people their thinking is wrong or that. I'm going to tell you, we had a situation last week where I was out to dinner with my dad, one of his friends, and sibling. And sibling and the friend started kind of going at it. Not going at it, but they started to have a pretty heavy conversation. And it's like both of them going at one another was like nobody wanted to be wrong there. But the thing is, it's not for us to convince somebody that our opinion is right. Yes, sibling was going with science. Okay, and if you believe in science, then great. But my problem is when people have an opinion and they think yours is stupid because it's not theirs. That I don't like. If you have an opinion, stick to your opinion if it's something you truly believe in. But listen to what the other person's saying. My opinions are not exactly up to snuff when I go visit certain people. In fact, I get kind of ganged up on because my opinions don't match theirs. But I stick to what I believe in because it's what I believe in. I plant seeds, I share my side, And if you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. But again, that comes back to things that we can be grateful for. I can rejoice because I have that freedom to do so. In other countries, you can't speak out about certain things. You can't speak out against the government, or you're going to end up dead. And it's a harsh reality. It's a scary reality. But I think what Epictetus was trying to tell us here is that it's the same thing we talk about in all the perspectives. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the things around you. Like I said, the roof over your head, the bed that you sleep on, the car that you drive. If you don't have a car, be grateful for the public transportation you have. You know, where I live, I always thought I'm going to try to be a little more, environmentally friendly and not drive every day. But the problem is there's no line that goes straight to where I work. I thought about taking the train to work. There's nothing near where I worked at the time. And so I would have to leave my house 3 hours early, which some people do. Some people do have to do that to get to where they need to be. So if you do have a car, be grateful for it. Don't just take it for granted, I name my electronics, and I'm going to tell you why I name all my electronics. I name everything. Okay, I named the car. I named my car. I named my computers. I have two laptops. All right, Big Red, which is what I'm working off of, and Little Blue, which is my travel companion laptop. It's smaller. After going to England and dragging Big Red there, I'm like, I need a smaller one. But I also named my phone. She's a 12 Pro Max, so I named her Maxine. Maxine XII, get it? But I name it because I want it to know that I'm appreciative of what it does for me. Even if people look at it as being inanimate objects, these things are giving you something. They're supplying you with entertainment, a way to reach out and connect. They're supplying connection. My car outside, Bella. I know, started out as Silver Bells, ended up in Bella. So yeah, not after any vampires. It is simply because her name was Silver Bells, and I thought that's way too long. So I'm gonna name her Belle. I named her Belle, and then I named her Bella. But yeah, I know this feels like I'm going in 10 directions when it comes to this quote on gratitude, but it is true. We don't think about the things that we have. We take every single thing for granted. We take the sink for granted, the stove for granted, the water and the fire that comes out of, or the heat, depending on what kind of stove you have, the fridge that works. You never appreciate your fridge until it dies and everything spoils in it, right? The Post-it notes. We never appreciate a Post-it note until we're trying to give someone our information. We have no pen or paper in our bags. Always have pen and paper in your bags. And, or, if you can. I mean, I know men, it's a little bit harder. My dad always carries a pen on his shirt, right inside. So, that's his thing, but he always has a pen. Okay. I mean, people used to make fun of him, but the man always has a pen. And, it's just things like that. We find so many reasons to not be grateful when we should be finding so many reasons to be grateful. So again, he is a wise, I'm going to change man to person, okay? Just, for now's sake, updating it a bit. They are a wise person who does not grieve for the things which they have not, but rejoices for those which, forget it. It's too much pronouns here. Epictetus, okay? Replace pronouns as you see fit. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for that which he has. That is so cut and dry, I can't even believe I had to go in like 12 million circles just to explain that. But it is. It really is cut and dry. But rejoice for that which you have. Rejoice for that which you have. Be grateful for everything around you. Be grateful for the sky, the rain, the sun, everything, because these things help the earth. Be grateful for the earth. We're not taking good enough care of her. Okay, we're not. During lockdown, Mother Earth had a chance to breathe. And then we all came out of our little holes a little bit more feral in some cases, and we forgot to take care of her again. I'm sorry, in my opinion, climate change is real. That's why the weather's all funky and crazy. You know, people don't believe it, but you know, it's something we've been fighting for over 100 years now, and it's not getting better. It's not getting better. And we fight it, we argue it, and that's just my opinion. So, you know, I mean, please come back. I don't normally share my opinions, but that is one of my opinions. But also, speaking of opinions, be grateful that you're allowed to have one, but don't force your opinion on other people. If you can't come to a conclusion on what people believe in, just agree to disagree. Agree to disagree, because you know what? It's not worth fighting. It's not worth, you know, coming to verbal blows, you know, because neither one of you can bend each other to their will. Just, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, we can talk about science all day long, but some people are always just going to stick with their opinion. And, you know, maybe subconsciously it's how they get through the day. Maybe subconsciously it's how they deal with the fact that the earth is changing. And they don't want to believe it because that means bad things can happen. So, I don't know. Everybody's thought processes are different, but like I said, it's not worth fighting over. It really isn't. So if you have an opinion, great. It's always good to have an opinion, but our job isn't to convince people to change their minds. Our job is to plant the seed and see what happens. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay? Because I go onto Twitter and it's like a slugfest every day on there, you know, with people and their opinions and people who think they're right. And, you know, even me, sometimes I think I'm right. I mean, right now I'm just quoting someone and I don't think I'm right or I'm wrong. But I think these quotes and these gratitude quotes have made very, very good points. And a lot of them, the majority of them that we have had, all come back to the same thing. Stop worrying about what you do not have. Start being grateful for what you do have. When you are grateful for what you do have, again, you are opening the door of opportunity. You are opening the gateway of flow into your life because you are sending out the vibe that should be out there. You're not sending out a worrisome vibe or a sad vibe or a needy vibe or a, you know, a pitiful vibe of, well, why can't I have that like so and so? That's why. Because when you say, why can't I, you are literally negating anything good that you did. So again, when you set your intention, when you say a prayer, when you create a manifestation, you have to trust it, you have to believe it so you can receive it. If you do not trust it and you do not believe it, you are probably not going to receive it because you're putting out that negative vibe. Well, maybe I don't deserve it. Let me tell you something. Everybody deserves what they have coming to them. You can take that any way you want. Okay? Because, you know, some people call that karma. But if you're a good person and you do for a lot of people, know that you're worthy. You know, I tend to not see my worthiness a lot. You know, I always will say when people thank me for something, well, I'm just doing what anybody else would do. Well, not everybody else would do that. Okay? And that's something that I'm learning. I'm learning how to accept compliments, which is not easy for me. But I'm trying. And in that process, I am growing. And that's all I ask of anybody else. Learn to grow. Glow with the flow. I was going to say go with the flow, but glow with the flow. You know? But most importantly, be grateful for what you do have. When you say the prayer, set the manifestation or intention, and remember, always finish it with this or something better. I cannot say that enough. I have said it hundreds of times, at least, during all these perspectives over the last 2 years. But this or something better. Because what you're asking for may not be intended for you, but what you will receive will be the equivalent or something better. Because you're giving your source, you're giving your source the wiggle room to bring you what it is that you need or that you want. Okay? So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember what Epictetus says. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for that which he has. Be grateful for everything you have. Even the smallest thing, even your glasses, your earrings that adorn your ears, your lipstick that puts, color on your face, your bracelets, whatever. The smallest things deserve gratitude as well. Okay? You could be grateful for the door handle on your door. How are you going to get it open without one of those? That's right. We never think about these things. Okay, so again, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. I will be back here tomorrow for Aloha Oracle Friday. Aloha Oracle Friday. No, we didn't have one last week because I was at Comic-Con. So I'll be back tomorrow. Strong. Going strong with Aloha Oracle Friday. And then Monday we'll be back with lesson number 25 of gratitude. But tomorrow's Oracle Friday, so if you have something that you might need an answer on, if it is intended for me to give you the answer, I will do my best. But put it out there. Set your intention, set your manifestation, ask your question. I always come from a good place when I do these things. I tap into Archangel Gabriel. I really feel like he's the one that helps me send these messages. Doesn't matter what your belief is, okay? Whether you believe in these things or not. Okay, if you were looking for a message or an answer, hopefully I will be able to give it to you. I start out with the Angel Answers deck, so if you literally have a specific question, come on early, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Facebook Live under Shelly Marie Lucas. It is public. You do not need to be my friend to watch it. And, ask your question. We'll see what we can do. Okay, or I say we because I work, again, with Archangel Gabriel on Aloha Oracle Friday. So, if you miss it, it's okay, because you still may get your answer. I have a whole set of guidelines I go over in the morning, but the replay, this one and tomorrow's, will be on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas, and I generally upload them right after I finish these, so they're usually up around 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, okay? So again, have a great, great day, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Listen to the wise words of Epictetus. Do not worry about what you do not have. Rejoice in what you do have, okay? Be grateful. Go around your house today and naming everything that you can see. Thank you, thank you, thank you for, this, that, or the other, all right? Have a great day.